want to just jump right in here.
Sure.
Because, we've known each other a long time working on Full House, but there's so many things I didn't know about you. I didn't know that you started as a model. I can see why, though,
thank
for
you.
crying out loud. Were you modeling in New York? Were you
Yeah,
you started there?
I started in New York. I was going to school at FIT, Fashion Institute.
Because you're from Connecticut originally.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that kind of makes sense. New
Couldn't
York.
wait to get out of there and go to New York City. I used to skip school all the time, take the train down to the city. And I went to FIT, ran out of money, couldn't go anymore because back in those days, parents didn't pay for everything like we do now.
Yeah. Or live with your parents until you're 28,
right,
29
exactly.
years old. Yeah.
And one of the guys on my floor said, well, you want to try modeling? I know a model agent. I was like, sure. And that's what started it.
That was it?
That was it.
Was it like fashion, clothing, or was it like Sears catalog stuff?
It was catalog work.
Was it catalog
I was more of a
stuff?
junior commercial model. But then when I started doing commercials, it was big. I mean, I did the Milk Does a Body Good campaign, the first one. And
You did a lot of commercials,
I did a
right?
lot of commercials.
Yeah.
I was like that.
Milk
Back then,
Does a
it was like the
Body
healthy
Good.
look, you know?
Wow,
Yeah.
that just sticks in my brain. Milk does
Yeah,
a body.
it was
Wasn't
a
there a little
big-
jingle that went with it? Of course there
I
was,
say
right?
milk. It does a body good.
Oh, see? That's why you got the job right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It seems like every actor, when you're starting out, you do at least one kind of cheesy commercial. Did you ever do any that were I know I did. I dressed up like an alien. You couldn't even see my face for Cheetos or Doritos or something, and I had to dance around. It was
Oh
so
my
bad.
gosh, that's so funny.
It was so
Yeah.
awful. But, when you're starting out, you kind of do anything you can to
Anything.
get the experience, right?
Anything to get that SAG card, anything to just get work, especially living in New York City.
And and you're sitting there telling yourself, well, I'm doing this for the paycheck
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Did you make your way after that out to California? And
Yeah.
What brought you out there?
Well, I was following a boyfriend out to California in '88, and I came out for pilot season, and then I didn't like it out here, and I went back to New York.
Was he in the business?
No,
Was he,
not at
oh,
all.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And then he was from here. So then I came back out again, and that's when I booked Charles in Charge, and then I booked Back to the Future 2, and I started meeting friends, and I was like, okay, I could stay, and then I've been here ever since.
Yeah, and I mean, you had done a load of stuff before Full House. You were in Back to the Future too.
Yes.
It was a gigantic movie.
I know. It's funny how it still is. It's weird.
I used to skate with Michael J. Fox
you did?
in hockey charity games and stuff. He
Yes.
was he was always so gracious, just a good down to earth.
Best guy. The
Yeah,
best guy.
yeah, great
Yeah.
guy. Great guy. What was that like? Like, that's a big feature. I mean,
When we were shooting it, I didn't really know how big of a deal it was,
Yeah.
and how, now we have internet and we have streaming and everything. So now it just keeps going.
right.
And I still do appearances for it and everything, and still see my gang members from Griff's gang. And, it's really fun. It's great. And the fans are getting younger and younger.
Yeah, right. Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And one of your gang members was Tom Wilson, who I also knew from our Comedy Store days.
Yes.
His act was with a tuba. Did you ever see him?
I did.
He played
Yes,
the
I did.
tuba.
Yes.
Yeah, Tom was very
we used
funny.
to sing all the time when
Yeah.
we were hanging out on the hoverboards. We'd
I
be
can
singing
see
all the
that
time.
because
Yeah.
he was also a guitar comic.
Yeah.
And he was such a sweet guy. He was such a
Sweet.
different, so
Person.
different from his character
Yes.
Biff, right?
So different. Yes.
From how I remember you, now we're going back, because I think you were in, do you remember which season you were in of Full House? Was it third or fourth?
I don't know the season. I know it was in 1992.
Oh,
so
okay.
That would
So
be,
that would have been fifth season.
Yeah.
That would have been fifth season. It took us that long to introduce Danny's sister? My gosh.
and the monkey.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone remembers the monkey
Everybody
episode.
remembers that monkey.
Yeah.
It was, we always had animals on Full House. It was like, never work with kids and animals.
I know.
Right? And we had them all.
Yeah.
We had them all. Your episode was titled Too Much Monkey Business.
Yes.
Yeah, and you played Danny's sister, and were you a monkey trainer? Is that what you were?
I was training monkeys in Uganda and found the monkey by itself and took it. I can't. Yeah, that's what my story was. And then we had a secret crush on each other. I remember.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But you were always so friendly, and you always had such a nice sense of humor to go along with it. But that was not the character. You grabbed McFly by his McFly, right? In that scene, right?
Yes, I played a very tough character. Yeah, in Back to the Future. Yeah, I grab him by the scrote, as we say.
Is that what it was?
Yes, it was.
Is that what it said in the script?
Yes. What's wrong, McFly? You got no scrote. And then he had a ketchup bottle in his jeans at the time. So when I grabbed it the first time, you feel this huge ketchup bottle in his pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I didn't break character because I was like, this is my first film. I don't know what to do here. And then, and everyone was laughing. The joke was on me. Yeah. It was
57
funny.
varieties.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So when you get to Full House, we had been on now for a while, and sometimes it's really tough for actors to come into an environment where it's already established. And what was your takeaway being there with us? Because we always tried to, when we had someone guest starring on the show, we always wanted to bring you in like, hey, you're family now.
Yeah.
Is that
Yes, absolutely.
What you felt?
The kids were so welcoming. I remember you were very welcoming. Everyone was. I mean, I do remember that because it is hard being a guest star on a show and coming in, especially when you are there for so many years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I remember it was a great experience. I just remember the table reading. I remember the audition. I remember all that. And never thinking I was going to get that role as Bob Saget's sister. But it was a great experience. And my parents came to, that was the only show they ever came to watch me tape.
Really?
And they couldn't believe how long it takes to tape a 30-minute show, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. People don't understand that.
It's a lot of work. Were we doing 2 audience shows back then on Friday night, or did we just do one in front of a live audience?
I think it was just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
okay.
was just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'd been on Charles in Charge. You've been on some sitcoms and stuff, so you were used to a live audience being
Yes,
in there,
I loved
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which can throw some actors.
Yeah.
Especially like film people. You know, they're like, whoa, it just, like suddenly there's 200 people there and they're, snickering and laughing and reacting to every little thing you do. Sometimes that can throw an actor.
You
but
hope you get the laugh. I mean,
you
for
hope
sure.
you get the laugh.
I mean, even though some of it's fake, but still, you hope the audience
You had a
enjoys it.
chimpanzee. How could you
Yeah,
miss? Right?
I
You're not
was
going
so
to miss.
excited to work with that monkey until someone said, they could rip your face off. And I was like, what? And I was like trying to keep my face away from the monkey because I love animals. I'm obsessed. So I was like so excited.
Are you a big animal person?
Huge, yeah. I'm a big dog rescuer. And
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love dogs so much. We have 3 dogs.
So
me
do
and-
I.
Me and
3.
Melissa. And one's a rescue, Shorty.
Thank you for rescuing.
17 years old.
Good. Aw.
17, and he's just the sweetest little guy. He's got such a story. I won't go into it now, but yeah, when you rescue a dog, they know it, don't
Oh,
they?
absolutely. I've had 10 of them, 10 rescues.
10?
I only rescue. After I found out about rescuing, I go, oh my
Yeah.
God, I can never buy a dog again. I mean, there's so many dogs and they're all amazing.
Yeah, and you see it on social media now too, where you see these stories of these abandoned dogs.
Oh, yeah,
and then they
I see 'em every day.
And they clip them and shave them and they
they
just
look
give them
amazing.
love. And then all of a sudden they're like a happy dog. Those are like the best stories, aren't
The best.
Yeah.
One after another.
they? Oh, I love that you're a dog person.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
I always say, and this is maybe horrible to say, please don't hold it against me, but I often say, I think I like dogs more than people.
Oh, I always say that. Are you kidding? People suck.
No offense, people. No offense, but I do say
Yes.
that because it is unconditional love.
Yes.
Whether it's so many, whether it's a cat or a bird or but dogs, they look at you and their faces are so human sometimes, and they're just
Absolutely.
looking at you and you're like, oh my gosh, there's like such a being and such a presence in there. I could keep going about dogs.
They're
I'm not
nicer
gonna-
to me than my kids are.
Yeah, right, right. They always ready to get hugged at the
they
door.
appreciate your food,
They're
everything.
excited every time.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe she's home again.
Yes, I know.
You know, they say dogs have no sense of time.
Yeah, I know they say that.
Do you think? Because it seems like my dogs are like, where you been?
Yeah,
we've been
they
alone
get
now
as
for 3
excited if you
hours.
leave for 5 minutes or 5.
We like to hear your thoughts about Full House. Tell us about your favorite episode or just why you love the show so much. Or maybe you got a question for me. Who knows? Shoot a short video and email us the link to it at socials@podco.us. We close every episode of Full House Rewind by giving all of you who need it a hug. This week, our hug goes out to all of you who feel like peer pressure is forcing you to make a decision. Maybe it's like this episode when Kimmy feels peer pressure by the older girls, so much so that she risked her friendship with DJ. It's okay to not be with the popular crowd. Sometimes that friendship you already have is there for a reason. So for all of you who are being peer pressured into making a decision, it's okay to take some time to think about it. It may not make you more popular, but it will make you feel better knowing that it's your decision and not someone else's. So for all of you who may feel that way, this Full House hug goes out to you. All right, bring it in. Here we go. All right, that's our show. We'd like to thank our special guest, Darlene Vogel, for stopping by. Join us next time right here on Full House Rewind, and you can watch all of our episodes on our Full House Rewind YouTube channel. So long, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Full House Rewind. We'll see you next week.